Testing, testing. Alright, I am back with another Destiny 2 video. We will see if I can record this without waking up Noah, who is 2 feet away from me, and his bouncer. Cosmo is writing the TWAB this week, and I assume there are going to be at least a few interesting things in here. So before we get into it, we wanted to take a moment to reiterate, to talk about the commitment we made as a company earlier this week in response to the leaked draft decision by the U.S. Supreme Court to overturn Roe v. Wade. Standing up for reproductive choice and liberty is not a difficult decision to make, and we remain dedicated to upholding these values. You can read our full statement here. I have yet to see any other company actually come out and take a stand like this, so Bungie is continuing its trend of being very, very outspoken about these issues, and I am fully supportive of that. I will not go down that rabbit hole for this video, but I do applaud them for making that statement. Alright, this week at Bungie, the 3rd annual Guardian Games have begun. Welcome back, sports fans. The Guardian Games have commenced, and Hunters Warlocks have taken the lead, but it's still early in this 3-week competition. It's anyone's game. The tower's looking spiffy. Here is the trailer for this. On the top of the overall class versus class main event, we have also assembled a friendly out-of-game competition between fire teams of Guardians from across the globe. We have creators from 14 territories representing their favorite class and competing for glory in the Guardian Games Cup. I think that's a fun idea. I'm not sure when that starts, but I think it's pretty soon. There are physical Guardian Games things you can buy, including a golden stein, I think, and a real medal. Very nice. Okay. 9,000 words was not enough for Master Rahul. So TWAB before last was a mega ultra chonker. Even with thousands of words on the weapon changes coming in Season 17, questions still remain. The team has been reading through the responses online and wanted to answer a few questions as well as clear up a few bits of confusion. Global. Flinch resistance. How does flinch resistance work? Flinch resistance, that's really hard to say, directly scales the angle of your aim moves by when you take damage. So if you have 60% flinch resistance and you would normally be flinched to 10 degrees, you would now be flinched 4 degrees. The flinch, okay, this is a lot of really technical stuff. So I don't know how much I care about going into this fully. This is like, alright, let's skip to airborne effectiveness, maybe a few less numbers in here. Okay. Can airborne effectiveness penalty take you below 0 on the stat? No, it cannot go below 0 or above 100. The tiers were just general examples of performance within ranges. Every point in a weapon stat will count. In most cases, there is a linear progression from 0 to 100 stat, an exception being accuracy penalty aimed on primary weapons, which is linear from 0 to 60, but is flat 0 from 60 to 100. How does airborne effectiveness interact with accuracy perks? Technically, accuracy perks like opening shot apply to your airborne accuracy cone as before, but because accuracy while airborne is generally better than it was before, you'll feel the benefits a little less. Can you clarify precision aim assist? Okay, they actually have a graphic for this. When grounded and aiming down sights, the full aim assist cone angle is used to determine whether a shot is a crit or a body shot. When airborne or hip firing by default, you only get a crit if you've aimed exactly on the head. While airborne, the airborne effectiveness stat grants you some forgiveness for this in the form of precision aim cone. Okay, so this is like what it looks like with different points and how much, what counts as a headshot under the current systems. Interesting, okay. Do I care enough about this? I don't think I care enough about the intricacies of in-air precision aim cones and center point aim assist cones. I can't do it. I'm sorry. You can watch the Fallout video, or Cool Guy, or one of the PvP guys who is going to dive into that more. Scavenger perk changes. Maybe this will be a little less technical. Are all scavenger mods disabled in PvP, or only special weapon scavenger mods? All are disabled. With disabling ammo scavenger mods in PvP, are you trying to bring back the double primary meta? No, we do not. We do want running double primaries to be more viable and want there to be fewer one-hit kills in PvP, but we don't want to eliminate them entirely. You'll still spawn with 2 rounds of special ammo and still pick up ammo bricks, but you shouldn't be able to use a special weapon like a primary. One interesting side effect may be an indirect buff to the strategy of running double primary to starve your opponents of special ammo drops. I feel like they're going to get a lot of flack for this because of how much everybody hates the double primary. I like running double primary sometimes. I'm also not good at PvP, but I like, a pulse and a bow with like a sidearm or an SMG or something. I don't know. I really like sidearms and things like that. And I hate shotguns, so that's like my close range alternative. Are the special ammo weapon effectiveness and ammo changes enough to reduce their dominance in PvP? Short range primary weapons will have more of a role now. Sidearms and SMGs can better compete with shotguns, for example. We've pushed the current PvP ammo system as far as we can go with this change. If this doesn't move the needle, we'll look at redesigning PvP ammo economy entirely, which would be a longer-term change. Oh, man. The scavenger mod is disabled in PvP. There's little competition for leg mods. What's the plan? We're keeping this in mind for future updates. For now, we recommend you run holster mods. Yeah, there's too much stuff in arms and head, not enough stuff in legs. Other changes. Will playlist weapons that have a foundry get both the foundry and playlist origin perks? Yes, they will have both. What do the changes to snapshot mean? Snapshot works by multiplying aim down sights animation by 0.5, which you could frame as marking it twice as fast. On special weapons, it will now scale this duration by 0.75, making it 50% faster instead. Okay. We frame this as being completely offset by sniper rifle ADS changes, but this was incorrect. It'll be snappier, but a sniper rifle snapshot will be a little slower to aim down sights than before. Weapon archetypes. Does the lightweight pulse rifle damage buff apply to the BXR-55? Yes, it does. Oh, good. Okay. And any exotics that share the rate of fire. Is Retrace Path getting the tracer rifle buff? Yes. Well, that's interesting. That with Golden Tricorn, pretty nutty. I have one of those saved somewhere, I think. Slug shotguns getting the pellet shotgun nerfs. They receive the damage fall-off and aim assist fall-off changes. They do not have a spread angle, but are treated like special weapons and have an airborne accuracy penalty. Any changes to aggressive fusion rifles? No, they are not affected. Do all SMGs benefit from the damage fall-off increase? Yes. Do all SMGs with lower than 14 zoom now have 14? No, only those listed in the TWAB have been raised to 14. What happened to the full auto setting? We mentioned this was coming. It won't make it into Season 17 or 18, but is targeted for Season 19. So that's like 7 months away. Are the numbers in the fusion rifle section correct? What does this mean for the charge time masterwork? Yes, to clarify, these are how much the damage fall-off near distance is reduced compared to current at 0 and 100 range. Yes, the damage fall-off for 0 range was reduced for more than 100 range. Reduced damage fall-off near distance. Oh, I see. Okay, so high impacts, 325 to 330. The masterwork. Okay. Interesting. So it doesn't seem like it'll be that big of a deal. Why are there no sidearm changes? They never change sidearms. Sidearms are a niche pick, but when used by players who favor them, they're extremely strong. We want to see how the reduction in effective range of shotguns and fusion rifles affects their strength before making any changes, and may look at them in a future season. That auto rifle change is still somewhat small. Will it do anything? Combined with the zoom scaler, the change is larger than it sounds, but we plan to look at primary weapon balance some more in Season 18, auto rifles included. So another 3 months. Why did the Summoner come back only for 2 seasons? We're adding 1 new weapon, 1 reissued weapon, and removing 2 old weapons from the Trials loot pool each season, but we felt like only 1 brand new Trials weapon per season wasn't enough. Now that we're doing 2 new Trials weapons a season, so this is every season they're doing 2 new Trials weapons, we'd rather the pool contain the mostly newer weapons. Trace rifles and machine guns are getting buffed. Does this suggest future anti-champion mods? No comment. Are we going to get anti-champion trace and machine guns? I mean, we never had either of those yet. There's just so few trace rifles to take advantage of that. Maybe next season will get us a new trace rifle. They can't have just like 1 legendary trace rifle like forever. So I assume they're going to make more of those. We'll see. I still am just tired of the whole like champion mods going like 6 guns a season thing, but whatever. Exotics. Alright. Is Vex Mythoclast a fusion rifle? What is its stat? Its airborne effectiveness stat is 19. It's treated as an auto rifle. Wave Splitter. Wave Splitter's functionality changed late in development, and the TWAB restriction is not accurate. The variable damage firing was not removed. The weapon's damage behaves identically to how it did before the release, i.e. changes while firing. Oh. Okay. So that was just wrong. Changes to orb max charge time are still accurate, and it does suppress one orb-derived high-power state. So as soon as you get in high power, it starts suppressing, or do you have to pick up another orb? It just sounds like it's automatically suppressing once you get it to max power. Is Risk Runner staying at 13 zoom? What about Osteo Striga? Yes, Risk Runner Osteo is a unique setup for damage and aim assist fall-off that's less affected by its zoom stat, but no, it's not changing. Is Lumina included in the damage buff reduction? Yes, Lumina Noble Rounds and Boots of the Assembler Seeker now grant 15% damage in PvP, down from 20%, but the original value 35%. In PvE. I assume that means the original value stays. This damage buff is also used by Sun Warrior, which is part of why Lorelei Splendor is so strong, but it wasn't mentioned in the Mega TWAB because that issue is being addressed in another way. Solar 3.0, baby. That is definitely what that means. Okay. Is the Monarch affected by Necrotic Grip? The Monarch is not a weapon of sorrow, and it's not going to become one. Yeah, only the Butterfly Bow is a weapon of sorrow. The only weapons that count are Thorn and Osteostriga. So there's your confirmation as to what is a weapon of sorrow. Just those two. Does Lorenz Driver also change also apply to Arbalest? No, but looking at both of these again in the future. Are Devil's Ruin and Fighting Lion being monitored for the unique ammo economy while dancing the primary special line? We expect both of these to be stronger in the Season 17 weapon sandbox, but not so strong they'll dominate. They're both acquired tastes whose strengths can't be exploited by every player. They really want Fighting Lion. Like, they're just like Fighting Lion changes every single season. How does the Eyes of Tomorrow buff work? It's a straight-up 1.3 damage scaler on the current damage values against bosses and champions. Note that the Adaptive Ordnance perk does not expire, so you can potentially get a bunch of Eyes of Tomorrow kills, pick up more heavy ammo, go into a boss fight with that damage buff. Just to clarify how this works a little more, each legendary weapon type and each exotic weapon can have its own custom scaler against each tier of enemy, all those tiers, which we touch occasionally if needed. Damage values versus players is the base numbers in almost all cases. We typically scale the damage up or down in PvE as needed. Okay. Pretty borders. Previously on the TWAB, we spoke about quality of life changes for weapon crafting. We've already increased the... Oh, they're doing it. They're giving us the borders. Oh, this is the best news I've ever heard. All right, weapon crafting is good now. You heard it here first. In Season 17, we are still planning to remove all the BS element types. Only true element remains. One feedback we see cropping up is the desire to masterwork your crafted weapons, if only to get those shiny gold borders to let you know that a weapon is special. Starting in Season 17, you will have the ability to achieve the masterwork look for champions. To get your gold border on legendary crafted weapons, you will have to have an enhanced intrinsic perk and 2 enhanced trait perks. Crafted exotics will require a legendary to be inserted. It's a steep cost, but, you know, I'm going to allow it. At least it's something. I think it maybe should just do it once you hit level 20, but I don't know. I think that's fine, especially with the other changes they're making and that they've already made. It's going to be easier to get enhanced perks now, so yeah. Trials, there was a vote, apparently. Alter Flame won with 44%. No one wanted to play Fragment, so that's going to be the Trials map. Player support. Okay, shoot to score quest clarification. Step 1 of this pursuit will complete automatically when the competitive playlist unlocks. After the completion of Step 1, the remaining steps of the shoot to score quest can be progressed by reaching score thresholds in the competitive playlist. Alright, if your expirals are going away, spend those when they come up. And known issues. Do any of these matter? Not really. Oh yeah, this is funny. It just like adds the Witch Queen to people's cart when you look at like the Guardian Games playbook. So sneaky. Oh man. Yeah, I have the competitive catalyst quest for the Heir Apparent, even though I have it. I can dismantle that. Okay, good. Alright, and movie of the week. And yeah, people wanted more like solo achievement things, so I think they're doing some of those. And some cool art. Who is that? Is that Spider? Did he, like, sneakily sneak into the tower? Yeah, I know there's Spider lore. I know Spider came back. I'm probably going to do a separate video on that. Alright, it's been a minute since I've been hands-on with the TWAB process, but I'm stepping in for DMG as he walks the earth. Glad I remember how to do it. There are so many people who coordinate together to make these happen, and I always enjoy to watch it all come together. Well, I'm writing this before Guardian Games have actually started. All the stuff at the top. Oh, okay, so they didn't get to the machine guns or the SMGs aren't dropping. That's already fixed, but still. Hunters winning the first few days are an assumption. Maybe I will update this TWAB before it goes out to reflect what actually happened. Maybe I won't. He did. That was at the top. Past me is fickle and reckless. Future me is responsible and honorable. I wonder who won out in the end. Yeah, he did that at the top here. So. Okay, so that was just a lot of explanations about the weapon TWAB. I don't know if anything is like super huge in here in terms of like, I don't know, it's nice to know what the weapons of sorrow actually are. This is probably the biggest news, being able to get a gold border on crafted weapons. That is certainly, it's like the dumbest reason ever, but I will absolutely put enhanced perks on a bunch of things. Hopefully next season is going to come with changes to perk selection options, because I don't know. It feels really weird to commit to enhanced perks now, because if you ever want to switch them, it's going to cost so many materials, which sucks. So hopefully they are going to maybe launch with more changes, but I feel like they maybe would have mentioned that by now if they were going to do that. So perhaps, I think they mentioned they were like looking at it, but I don't know if they'll actually launch with anything in a couple weeks here. So Anyway, that is the TWAB, not the biggest TWAB in the world, certainly, and not what kind of we wanted to see with the big Iron Banner rework and stuff, but we still have, I don't know, a couple, like, at least 3 more weeks until next season, so I assume we will get either some big TWABs or we will get some, like, kind of independent blog posts on that stuff earlier. So thanks for watching. Shout out to Noah, the little dude who was snoozing this whole time and did not wake up so I could do this in one take. I love my son. He's so thoughtful. Okay. All right. I will talk to y'all later and take care.